Okay, so I've sort of laid out the second floor and I've looked at it and looked at it, and I don't really see any ability to reduce any of the spaces. So I'm going to present this to my client and see what their reaction is. Maybe make it smaller, maybe okay, it's fine. And there may be some other changes as well, but I need to put in the appliances or fixtures on the second floor. So let's go over here to our project browser and we'll open up the second floor. And this is my crop region. I don't really need to see any more of the second floor than this. So we'll do that. And I do want to crop the region there, okay. And so let's see, WT, well, WT will allow me to see both my 3D and my floor plan at the same time. And so I'll make the 3D a little bit smaller, give a little bit more real estate to the computer screen real estate to the floor plan, because that's what I'm working on. This is my region, my area. So what do we call that? Region. So I'm going to hide that category because I don't need to see that. And I notice that these two are not the same, and I think they really should be. So let's do that. Let's see, architecture, reference plane. Let's put a reference plane in. See if I can find the midpoint of here. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is go from here to here to here, and I want those to be equal. Okay. So now that's equal. Is this equal? And I can see that that's not. So, all right. So now this is equal, this is equal, so these two should be equal now too, and you can see that they are. So what I was trying to do was simply get these two closets to be the same, identical distances. Okay, so like that. So I don't really need to see, I've seen all of my dimensions here, everything looks approximately okay. So I'm going to click on a dimension. I'm going to say select all instances visible in view. So that would be this particular view. And then I'm going to delete them because I don't really need to see them right now. And I'm getting a message saying that some of my constrained dimensions will be deleted. And so I'm going to say, okay, that's fine. Unconstrained, whatever we were constraining. All right. So this is a guideline. I might as well start right there. Architectural component, model in place. I'm still doing casework. And I'm going to do an extrusion. And that extrusion will be a rectangle with these properties, 2'10". And the material is going to be that green marble. It's not popping up here right away, so I'll just type green and let's see what comes up. Green, great new green marble, I call it. You can see that I've given it a picture. Basically what I did was when you look at your appearance tab for your materials, you can simply click on this button right here, and it will allow you to navigate to wherever the image that you want to display when you render your project. And so I wanted that green, so I said okay to that, and that's where this came from, is that image. And so sort of green here. And what are we doing? Checking the material, the height of it, everything looks good. I'm gonna say sketch is invalid. So what did I do wrong? So we're going to continue. Oh, didn't actually put anything in there. So yep, looks like it'll be okay. And we finish it up and we can see right there. I'm thinking, I haven't put a floor in yet, but I can go to this view in 3D and I can take my which is, what's this called? This is my section box, and I've just raised the section box up so that it's not showing anything below the second floor. So since I don't have the floor in there yet, now I can't see anything below that clipping point that I put in on the section box. And that's good. Now I can actually see my second floor a little bit better. So let's keep going here. I want to put in a toilet over here. It's a component, architecture component. I'll click on that and it defaults to the search box. In other words, you can see the cursor starts up there. So I'll just type TOI and see what comes up. Three-dimensional toilet. Hit my spacebar. Then let's put that guy in right there. And since I have it on my cursor, I might as well put the toilets in the other two rooms as well, which I don't know where they're going to go. So let's do that and move it around later if I have to. And I need another. Okay, so the toilets are in. Yeah, you can see the toilets in the 3D view. But I don't know. I haven't started laying that out. All right, so now I'm going to put in a shower here. This is going to be a little bit unique. Let's see. We'll type. We'll look for shower. SHO for shower. I have picked the shower from Revit City, but you can see that it's not letting me put that in, and the reason is because it's floor based. It's hosted by a floor and there's no floor. So now I'm going to be forced to put in the floor first. So we're back to the architecture tab. We'll go over to floor and I want tile. So there's my tile and I'll go in and put my tile in. Tile is going to go. The gypsum board would be installed first before the tile. So somewhere I'm going to have a door here. I'll have to fix that later. And I don't know if I've expressed what I'm doing here. You can see I put the tile all the way underneath the counter. There would be cabinets underneath there. So it's possible that you don't have to take the tile all the way underneath the counter here. But I'm thinking someplace down the road, the owners of this property might decide they want to renovate just the cabinetry and have a floating vanity or something different there that doesn't go all the way down to the floor. And so if the tile didn't go all the way through, they wouldn't be able to do that unless they had a surplus of tile set aside that they could install there. Now, the opposite of that is, of course, that if you're going to renovate this bathroom, you're probably going to renovate the tile as well. So let's see, I never want the walls to attach to my material there. So the tile is going all the way down, but we want to make sure that we have the right elevation of that, and we don't at this point. I don't think, oh yeah, look at that, we do. Here we go. So my tile has a 3/4 inch mud base and then the tile itself, and that's sitting on top of the floor, so it's in the right location. So that's good. Save that. And again, that came from the previous project. Now I have it. All right, so we're going to go back to the component. Now you can see that I can put my shower in here now because I have a floor and it's floor hosted. So I'm going to do that, which puts it a little bit away from the walls, and then I'll use my align tool to actually get it. See, there's that multiple again. The multiple align, which is a nice feature, but sometimes it messes up. So I am thinking about bringing the shower out a little bit farther into that space, which means that this wall would stop right here. And somehow we might get into the shower here or from here. And so that works for me. So I didn't know where the door was going to be. So my tile isn't exactly in the right location. And I'm going to hide that element now anyway. And then let's put that door in. So a 3-foot door is probably a little bit much. So 2 foot 6 might be enough. Let's go with that. All right. Yeah. All right. So now that's a little bit different of an arrangement, but yeah, I think that'll be okay. We'll put in 2 sinks here. And that's a component. Now I'm just going to type sink, S-I-N-K. Let's see what we have for sinks here. I have my square vanity sink. My oval vanity sink, which I want. So I'm going to go insert, load a group. Let's see, we should be looking at plumbing, architectural. It is a fixture. We'll go into sinks. Ooh, folder is empty. Interesting. So all of this folder. I do have a new computer and a new version of Revit installed here, so that's why that issue. All right, so I'll use the square sink then. S-I-N-K. In the search box, I'll type S-I-N-K. Let's see what we have. Yeah, we have a rectangular. All right, so we'll use this one. I like the oval one better, but we'll use this one for that. Now you can see that the problem there. See if I can grab those 2. I think they need to be raised up 5 inches. Because I put my vanities at 3 feet, and a lot of bathroom vanities are lower than that, but I like them at the. So now we can see that. Let's just double check and make sure that the lip of that sink actually fits. Yep, it does. See, the lip of the sink is right at the countertop now. So we can go back to the 2nd floor. And all right, so we're going to have to do that again. Architecture reference plane where we find the midpoint. And then I'm going to put that equal. Okay, so that's good. Take this out of here. Now I want this guy to be equal. I'll say equal. Yeah. So now that's good. Let's do it again over here. Let's say equal. So now, yeah, okay. So these sinks are now well located. I'm going to get an error message. You can also just hit the enter key on the keyboard. So delete, hit the enter key. Let's go. Need this reference plane anymore, so we can delete it. And now we have to put in a tub here. So let's see what we have for tub. So architecture component. type in tub. And I have a 3D simple freestanding, let's put a 7-foot freestanding tub in there and see what happens. Yeah, wow, that's nice. Okay, so we can have a big tub here. And why I'm only seeing that, I don't know. So let's go through the section here and see what's going on with that tub. Yeah, that tub is in the right location. Everything's good there. Back to the second floor. I should be seeing more detail here. We are, oh, let's change that to 5. Change that off. My resolution is fine. Let's see. All right, well, there's my tub, but if you click on it, you can see that there's a lot more detail there. Not sure why I'm not seeing that detail, but that's okay. All right, got my sinks in there, but I need to cut them out. So let's do that. Click on this, picking the detail line, so I'll delete that. Now I've got this countertop, edit in place, create a void form, void extrusion. I'm just going to draw a rectangle. Right, and so right now it's right at the sink, so I'm going to actually just use the key, the arrow on the keyboard, just nudges it out a little bit, and say okay. Cut it. All right, so we'll cut that out of there, and we'll do the same thing over here. I might be able to copy that void form, but I'll draw it again. Component, model, no, let's try right. I'm going to click on this, edit in place. I'm going to create a void form, which is a void extrusion. I'm going to draw a rectangle. I want my rectangle just to be slightly bigger than this opening. Pull that down like that. And just use the arrow keys on the keyboard just to make it just slightly bigger. So, okay. And cut it. And say, okay. Okay. So now let's go take a look at this guy in 3D. Let's see what's going on here. That top looks really strange. I'm not sure why. It looks like it's covering the top there. And it shouldn't be. Yeah, that's kind of strange. If we cut that section through there, okay. And hopefully it'll render nicer. But anyway, right, so we have that. And let's put some mirror back here. Back to the first floor, or second floor rather. And let's say architecture, component, model in place. So we're calling it caseware. Okay. And we'll just draw an extrusion as a rectangle, and I'll just come here. Don't worry about the thickness of it right now. You'll see why that doesn't matter in a second. Let's change the material to mirror. So the cursor defaults right up to the search, so I can type it. Spell it right. Okay, so that's the material. Now, if I click on this guy, I get a dimension here, and I'll just make it 3/4 of an inch. That's a nice thick glass. And I remember I clicked on that outside magenta line, so that's what it did. It picked that one, made the dimension that I retyped in here by moving that line that I had highlighted. It looks good there, except, ooh, yeah, this is always an issue. Let's change that to 6 feet and apply that also. Okay, now when we look at this, pull this guy down and flip it. Let's go to that view. Now you can see, should be able to see my mirror here. Let's see. Well, I think the mirror is behind here. So let's take this guy and hide that element. Nope, it's not behind there. Interesting. Okay. So I reset the temporary hide. I put the mirror on this wall here. You can see it in the floor plan. So here. Let's go, I've highlighted it. Let's go back to that section. I don't see it. Let's edit in place. And I can see it here. There it is. Okay. So let's go back and see if the view depth is what's causing an issue here. We're going to click on this. And yeah, look at that. My depth of field isn't far enough in order to show me that mirror. All right, so now we can see that mirror in the section. And I'll just say, let's take that mirror all the way up to the ceiling. Okay, so that's a nice big mirror. All right, I don't need the levels right now. So I'm going to select one, come down here and say, hide category. I'm going to see my levels. Now it's time to put in my cabinets. So I'll go back over to my stacked wall families, and we can WT again. I'll have three. No, I guess it's 3D, floor plan. Oh yeah, my section through there. All right, so what do I want? I need a base cabinet underneath the sink. Let's try this. Create some more. Let's come over here. It's not letting me put it there, but it will let me put it here. Okay, it's in backwards. So click on it. Might be in backwards. I'm actually cutting through. Yep, you can see the arrows are the front of the cabinet. All right, so now let's take a look at this. I want my cabinet to line up. The midpoint of the faucet is the midpoint of the cabinet. Okay, we do the same thing over here. I'm going to copy this cabinet from the midpoint of this faucet to the midpoint of this faucet. Let's see what happens. Okay, looks good. That gives me a little space here, a little space here, probably not enough. You know, they probably just put a filler in there, but we'll put, what do we have here? Let's measure that distance from here to here. Is 1 foot. All right, so I'll put a 1 foot cabinet in there, which would be which cabinet? Let's put the drawers. Okay. So, create some more. I'll come over here, put it in right there. I think the same thing happened again. The arrows. Let's change that to hidden line and click on this guy. There's that. Now it's easier to see the arrows. Pull this guy down just enough so that we can see the face of it. I'm going to use the arrow keys on the keyboard just to nudge it down. What I wanted to do was be able to see the face of my cabinet. I can see that. I said I want a 12-inch, and we picked the 15-inch, so we'll just change it to 12. And then we can use this align tool. And that's pretty close. Okay, so that looks good. We have our cabinets in, but the 3D view is telling me that I need to go back and fix this a little bit. The cabinets are sticking out, so I'm going to use my align tool. This time I'll use the multiple, pick that line, and then bring these cabinets in. And I'm going to uncheck multiple because that does cause a problem from time to time. Oh, bathroom. Let's see. I have my mirror. I have my vanity. Tub, shower, toilet. Everything looks good there. Let's go to the floor plan. How do we get into this room? This we can use this. This is a 2'6" door. I think that's good enough for here. So we're going to say create similar. Let's put that in right here. Now you can see what I'm talking about. I moved this wall back so that this door has a wall to swing up against, doesn't swing out into this space. And then we can do the same thing. Let's create some more. Let's put one here. Okay, so now we can get into there, and then this should be an opening, not a door. So I think that's part of the components. So let's see. I'm looking at my most recently used, and it's not there. So what do we call that? Opening. So let's see, 36-inch wide opening by 84. Okay, let's put that in there and see what happens. Look at that. What do we got? So now we have this archway that you come through. You can go into both of the closets, and then boom, you can use this door to get into the bathroom. Come into the bathroom. The first thing you see is a beautiful shower. You look to the side, you're going to see this tub. And then you'll see the mirror and these cabinets and this vanity and the sinks, and the mirror will reflect with that. And we can have a window over here. We can have some windows in there. That'll look good. All right. So I have made a family here. Let's see if it's available. Let's call it closet seat. Oh, it's a closet hangers on a pole adjustable. And there it is. So I already made it. It's loaded into the family. I want to align the back of it here and got rid of the multiple. All right, so here's where it's adjustable, and I can grab this guy now and bring him over. Looks good. And let's do the same thing. I'll mirror this guy by this. Should work. Okay. And then we can also put shelving here. Yeah. All right. So let's create similar. Now, what I haven't done is given this the ability to rotate and flip. So I just have to rotate it this way. And so there's my edge of my shelf. I'll use that as my line. Oops. Selected the wrong thing. Use this. Okay. Now, the shelf will really probably come down to here, but you can see that you can't have hanging on top of hanging, but that's just a slight detail. We still want the shelf to go all the way across there. So that looks good. Again, we can mirror that about here. Oops. It's because of the pressure on the mouse. It doesn't always grab what it's supposed to. Okay. And now, let's see, should we control? I've selected those two guys. Let's mirror it about the midpoint. Oh, look, there's a lot of midpoints here. We'll pick this as the midpoint and see what happens. Yeah, that worked out okay. So now there's my closet. 2 walk-in closets. I think the bathroom or the master suite now is pretty good shape. Close that, save that. That was the easy one, the one that was kind of thought out. And like I said, this would probably just be some fillers on this side of here. This looks a little bit smaller than this because we're seeing the door casing here. So if we were just seeing the wall, then these two spaces would look exactly, or should look exactly the same. All right. Now, this is a closet, and this does not, I don't want to see that return. So let's see if we can clean that up. Yep, okay. And this, I guess, could be a little towel closet. And so if I take this wall and drag it back, then I can have a deeper wall here. This should be cleaned up as well. So what I'm saying is I can come back a little farther here with this wall. Let's just do it then. Okay, so clicking the modify to clear out any kind of command that's active. Let's say create similar. I'll just come up here with a wall. I could have gone up. Look at that, I've clicked this 3 times now because of that sensitivity of that. I will continue to complain about that until I do something about it. Oh, I turned off my dimensions. So reset here so we can see. Oh, yeah, but I reset the wrong. All right, let's put the dimensions in now and see what happens. So let me, yep, okay. So I don't know. It's a good dimension here, so I'm gonna just make it 2 feet. That's probably deeper than it needs to be. But for now, it's okay. Then I'm not going to put these doors in because I might have to expand. Well, we will have to expand that bathroom, but I really can't, can I? Because if we measure, so I want to measure from here to here. It's really tight. So you're going to do bad bathroom. All right, so let's flip this guy and then drag him over here. We're going to put a basic tub in here, architecture component. A very basic tub. TUB, and I want my rectangular tub right there, and it's hosted by the wall on the side. Okay, and now I'm going to have a very small vanity. It's a private bathroom, so that's okay. So do a component model in place. Still going to be casement. And let's do an extrusion. Constraints are good, but it's not going to be the mirror anymore. Let's change it back to the correct material, which is the green marble. Okay, so okay to that. And then draw from here up 2 feet over to the edge of the tub, back down over to here. And I want 3 feet there. 30 inches is enough really for the toilet by code, so let's do that. All right, so I'll just say 30 inches. Okay, and we'll say okay to that. Now my vanities in, architectural component. Let's see, it should be in the recently used. Oh, it's not, so sink. Vanity square sink, I only need one here. I'll use my equal, you know what, I forgot to bring it up by the 5 inches. So I've selected it, and I'm going to raise it 5 inches off of the floor because my vanities are higher than the default was for that. Okay, so here to here to here should be equal, right? It is. Click on that, delete, hit the enter key to get rid of that error message. All right, and now I can cut the hole for this sink. So component in place. No, that's not right. I have to do that way before too. So we're going to click on this, edit in place, create a void form, void extrusion. We're going to do this square. Let's go down a little bit more here, and then nudge it up a bit, over a bit, over a bit. And it's okay. So the constraints are good. Cut it. That's it. We change this to consistent colors. Yep, you can see what I've cut the hole there. All right, so the door is going to be here. Let's put that mirror in. So right here, architecture, one place. So that's casework. All right, some extrusion, and the raw material, we want it to be the mirror. Okay, and I'll draw that rectangle again. From here to here. Click on it, and I'm going to click on this guy, change this to 3/4 of an inch. And okay. And before we accept that, it's going to start at 3 feet. Let's end it at 6 feet, and let's see what happens now when we okay to that. We're going to bring our section down to here now. So we can see. Yep, there we go. And then I can click on that mirror. And I'll just send it all the way up to the ceiling. And I'm going to come over here to my sink base, create some more. I'm going to pop that in right here. And I can see that it needs to be flipped again. And I'll just drag it down. And so I can see, let's see what the width is here, from here to here. It's 3 feet. All right, so I hope that I have a 3-foot vanity to pick here. Let's see if we get there. Yeah. Okay. Then we'll align it. The center of the faucet and the center of the vanity. And last thing we'll do is we'll align this guy. There we go. So we can see this in 3D now. I've got my toilet, sink, and shower and tub combination right there. So that's the second bath. So I'm going to click over there on save. So I could make this tub a little bit bigger. Which, let's see, what do we have here? 5'6". I'm going to measure. 5'7.25". Can I change the dimension? I can. So I'll duplicate it. And I'm going to call it 5'7.25" inch, which no tub would be, but this one is. And so I will align it. There we go, bigger tub. All right, so how do we get into there? Let's put a door, architecture, door. Fit a 30-inch or nope. So we'll have to go down to 2'6", really 2'4", but we'll put in a, this is a small door to get into that bath. Smaller than I would like. For now, we'll leave it like that. Maybe come back and work on it. You know, there's a lot of details to work out, but the client might not like what I'm showing anyway. So I'm working out the details unnecessarily. But I'll know that needs to be fixed. And maybe what I'll do is, I don't know what I would do. So let's measure this distance. How much have I got left here for doors? I've got 9 feet. Okay, so if I went 4 and 4 is that, so I put double doors. I'll put double 2-foot doors, so maybe 4 foot. Looking for my double door flush, 48 by 84. 1, 2. Yeah, look at that. Nice. It's popping right in my section, and it's popping right in there too. Now, how do we want to make this equal? Well, let's see. Architecture, reference plane. I guess we'll have to go a line across here first. Architectural reference plane, see if we can find a midpoint of this. It's not showing me a midpoint. All right, so I'll delete it and just put in a regular line, annotate, detail line. I'm going to draw a line from here to here. And then I want to look for the midpoint. There it is. I don't know if that ended up being a midpoint or not. So detail line. Huh. I think it looks like I cut this. How that happened. Huh. All right. So now I have to double check to see that it is in fact the midpoint. It's not. Put that in here. Say equal. Okay. And so now I have my midpoint. And now I want from here to the midpoint of the door to here. I want that to be equal. Oh, look at what it did. It moved this line. Cancel that. Do that. So, as I said, this may not be the final accepted layout from the client. So I'm not going to work on solving that issue. There's this line here. Let's get rid of that. And then I'm going to grab this guy, copy him from this corner of the gypsum board here to this corner of the gypsum board here. And then I'll just stretch them across. So I have a little bit extra depth here. Which doesn't do me any good in the closet. If the client likes it, I might end up backing that up as a, might as well do it now. It can be a little, let's do it this way. Let's grab this, just drag him all the way across. And then I will trim extend here. Okay. So now we have a little recess in the bedroom. Could be a bookshelf or a little cubby for whatever reason, but it makes more sense to put that space in here. So, all right, now this closet, I think it's going to be okay. And this is the tight one. So let's put in, let's see if we can just copy this guy. Let's see what happens if we try to copy him from here over to here. Looks like that work. Okay. Then we'll pull him here to here, should be 15 inches. Or it could be 1'6". Looks like we're have enough to do that, 18 inches. Okay. And I want to put that tub in, but I don't want this tub. I want the regular tub. So architecture component for a tub should be most recently used types. It should be down here. But for some reason that feature is not working. So I'll just type tub. And yeah, 3D tub right here. It is wall based, which means that I need to have a wall in there before I can actually place it. So let's say that this is the wall. All right, I'm going to drag this wall down. Okay. And I might want to push it back a little bit. Let's see, we'll say the new host. Let's make this one the new host. It's too tight because this distance needs to be 1.6 also. Dimension from the midpoint here to there. 6. All right, so I have to move this in this direction. All right. I'm not going to be able to do that. Change that dimension. So we'll do it this way. Architecture, reference plane. I want it to be 18 inches from where I'm actually going to draw it. Hit the space bar and get it on the right side. That's where I want this to be. So I'm going to hit Control, and that will copy both of those, and I'll just move it from here to here. That's a little bit unique in terms of how that worked, because the host of that tub is this wall, right? So move this guy, flip him over here. All right, let's do the same thing with this. Copy again. Small vanities. I have to probably make that vanity bigger now. So let's put in another. Better say create similar. Get the host here. Okay. Whoops. Let's move a little bit more. And since all the other plumbing is on this wall, let's flip it. Okay, so all my plumbing is on this wall. So this can be wider. Let's go from here. This dimension over here. Okay. So when I click on this, I want this to be 18. And let's see what happens if we move this down. Okay, so let's edit that in place. And then let's put a dimension line in there. Similar here to here. Let's just see if we can change it now. So again, we're going to edit that extrusion. Now, let's put in another dimension from here to here. And then if we click on that magenta line, I should be able to change that dimension. All right, so XL. Yeah, look at that. And I don't need this dimension. I'll delete it. And I'm going to I don't want to keep these changes. I'll get rid of that too. That's useless. And I'm going to put architecture, reference plane. Again, I use my 18 inches. From here, I want it on that side. Okay. So I can grab this guy and bring him over to here. All right. So let's grab this. That's probably not in the right location anyway. So let's get the sink located correctly first. Okay, that looks good. So the sink is right. I can delete, unconstrain. Now I can just grab my void and pull it back just slightly farther. Okay, looks good. The last thing to do now is add that mirror. I want that mirror to go all the way over to there. Okay. So now if we take a look here, yeah, I love these 3Ds because they help to determine, to show me, well, you know, you're missing something. So there we go. Let's align that cabinet there. We'll probably have enough for some cabinet here. What do we have? So I would be a 6-inch on both sides. So let's do that. Let's take this, create similar, come over here, we'll put it in right there. And I think I know from experience that the arrows are on the wrong side. So flip it. And then we'll bring it down and we said 6-inch. See if we have a 6-inch. We do. Yes. All right, and I can align it here to the edge, and then here. Okay. We can see it there. It looks working. It seems to be working fine there. So I'm going to grab this. So let's mirror it about the midpoint of that. And 9 inches would be the next modular dimension. So they would probably put a little filler in there. All right. So that looks good. We have okay, so we worked out our bathrooms now. Not the greatest layout, but not the worst either. So let's grab this guy, copy him right there, here. Slightly more. So if I click on that guy, I can drag the shelf back to the edge of the gypsum board, so that works. All right, so closet. Okay, we need to put a closet in here. This guy gets to walk in, lucky. So I'm going to copy from this corner right here, and then just stretch it. And mirror. So that can pick a midpoint. Okay. So let's put in a door right here. Architecture, door, single door, 34 by 84. Wow. Yeah, let's make it 30 by 84. 6. Make that much better. This guy down a little bit here. Let's get in here. right? Put that door. And then here we go. Well, I used a small one there, so I'll use a small. Something just went weird here because now it didn't open. It didn't cut. Maybe there's two walls here. Let's find out. Yeah. There were two walls there. All right. And that's why it didn't cut, I think. Let's see what happened. There. So I had two walls there. So it was cutting one, but not both. All right. Let's see that this is our guy here. So we're good. And we need to get in, make it smaller than that. I'm going to make it a 24 inch. It's a small door. All right. And then we need to get some doors on this closet. Same as this, maybe. Create some more. Let's put it over there. Yeah, that's too small. So we'll click on this. Let's see what other options we have for size. 60. Okay. So we can get in, we can get in. And we can get in. So all we have to do now is get into the master bedroom. How do we want to do that? Well, let's put some fancy doors there. Create some more. Okay. So I'm pretty close to being ready to present this to the client. The next video will show some presentation techniques. But you've seen, well, actually I have to do the first floor fixtures and clean this up a little bit. But anyways, you've seen how to put these in. I think we're in pretty good shape there. See everything. Yeah, right. So I like it.